So in this section, we will discuss how the product owner work very closely with developers, and we are trying to discuss how and what are the different types of technical debts which are there when you are carrying out your product development exercise. Also, we will see and discuss about what are the different consequences of these technical debts. So we will discuss as part of this section, uh, there are four technical debts which are being described over here. The first one being the reckless one. So as a part of the reckless technical debt, you you don't have much time for designing, and then you don't focus your time in the design aspects. So as part of this, it results into a poor design practices, and it is because of the lack of good design strategy. So this type of technical debt will incur the debilitating interest payments as the impacts and the effort to the correct to correct the poor design mount over a period of time. So as the time passes by, the overall effort which is required to correct the design issues become mammoth. So we should always try to avoid having the reckless technical debt. And the second debt which we refer to is a prudent debt. So prudent debt is however a choice made with the intent of achieving the short-term benefits, such as fulfilling the requirement for a release or a value of this type of debt is recognized quickly, and decision can be then made regarding the repayment of it, right? So suppose if you say that we have to ship now this feature and functionality at this current point in time, and we are okay for its consequences. So this is more of a prudent debt, wherein you are when you are made aware of the current value which you are going to get when you ship this product, and what would be the respective consequences which you have to bear. So that's more of an example of prudent debt, where you make a choice based on the elements which is presented across to you. So you are more focused on getting the short-term value and benefits as compared to the overall long-term gains. So if the flaw is really being touched on the code base, right? So then the overall effort for correcting it might not be even worth correcting it. So it's always important. So we need to think, whether the debt needs to be repaid as soon as possible, or it's okay to live with that debt in a current state as well. So that's a example of a prudent debt. The third is the the third example is called deliberate debt. So deliberate debt is what's knowingly incurred through a deliberate decision and a consideration of the value of the debt versus its repayment option. So deliberate debt is absolutely you try to take a decision whether it is required to be paid or not. So that's how deliberate debt is also an important element which should be looked very closely and carefully. The last one being the inadvertent debt, right? So inadvertent debt can occur when there is no recognition of the impact of the poor design and its resulting debt, which also can be referred to as a reckless debt, right? So if the team understands and use good design practices, but feels that they don't have the time to write the clean code, this would be called as a reckless deliberate so it's called as a reckless deliberate debt, as a team knowingly choose not to use the good design practices. So the lower right section of a quadrant, which would be viewed as a prudent inadvertent, describes a situation in which the value was derived from what was delivered, and the customer was overall satisfied, and the code was clean as well. However, in the hindsight, when the team now sees where things could have been done better. So you try to improve on that, right? Your good developers are always learning and looking for ways to improve, which is exactly what a sprint retrospective is all about. So these are the four types of that which team needs to keep on looking, whether it is a reckless debt, whether it's a prudent debt or deliberate debt or inadvertent debt, right? So the consequences of these technical debt can be summarized as a capacity of developers decreases over a period of time if it is a reckless debt, and the cost of addressing the debt can be too late continue to increase, right? So as the overall time passage by in terms of addressing those debt, the overall cost for addressing these debt become too high in terms of addressing it across, and also an impact on the full business value and the customer satisfaction needs to be looked upon as well. The design strategy should also be thought of, whether it should not become unsustainable over a period of time. So we should always discuss about the technical debt and how they can be addressed as early as possible.